Hello and welcome into a new episode of the Bleed Orange and Blue, an Illini fan podcast. I am your host Ryan here, and we're going to go ahead and dive into the recap of the Illini dominating and getting the last quack against the Oregon Ducks here. Not a surprise in this one. Going to go ahead and dive into that recap, what the Illini did good, what I saw from the game, and what we saw from one particular Illini senior on senior night in this one. All right, guys, let's dive into it. Recapping the 80-54 dominating win by the Illini in this one. Started off 9-3 with Oregon in the lead and had a few people questioning, ooh, is Oregon gonna actually try and make this a game? Well, the Illini definitely did not leave us wondering that for long, going on a 21-0 run for the next few minutes there in the game. Didn't allow Oregon to score for about a 6 minute stretch. Definitely very happy to see that after some defensive struggles, obviously. I know this is not a defensive squad or known as that, but we definitely got back to some principles within this game against Oregon. Got to actually reverse mismatch, I thought, with lining our fours up with Merkovich and Himrickhouse, actually guarding Nate Biddle, who is a 7-footer uh, number one scorer for Oregon, their go-to guy. Really, their only hope and chance of winning games right now is going through him. And we were able to do that by semi-dorking, their other big there, and allowed Z to just kind of hang tight, float around a little bit, which I thought did some great things for our defense. Now, it allowed our defense to, one, let a bad shooter shoot. Two, do some double teams, maybe even force some of those turnovers that Oregon ended up having in this one, leading to 6 steals by the Illini. Love to see that. I know we're not a super high ball pressure, turn you over defense, but I have noticed some tweaks and twitches that we've made on the defensive side to try to maybe get in the passing lanes a little bit more, especially in that zone where I'm seeing that most often. Now, the Illini did a great job just really playing their game. So gotta love to see that. The biggest thing about this defense that I love to see, the defense didn't allow their guys to get downhill. Now, Oregon has some athletes. They don't have any shooters for the most part, but they do have some guys that are long and athletic. The Illini's defense prevented them from just driving. That's great to see. Obviously, Oregon doesn't have that little quick point guard that has been a issue for us this season. But they've got guys that are athletic, can get downhill, and honestly, the Illini did a great job of keeping scorers out of the paint. Obviously, Biddle got in there. There was some stuff down in the paint, but it wasn't drives necessarily. It wasn't guys getting drives. It was guys getting either offensive putbacks, which we'll get into, or post up with Biddle there. Hats off to David Merkovich in this one. Obviously, he had a nice scoring night, 19 points, had 7 boards, had an assist, but I thought he did a good job at, really contesting Biddle and forcing him out on the perimeter more between him and Himrickhouse. They did a great job. I mean, Biddle went 7 of 15, 1 of 7 from 3, 5 boards, 3 turnovers. He did have 3 blocks. He was a solid shot blocker, as he showed, but really the Illini held him in somewhat of a check in this one. Didn't shoot great, didn't score tons. Again, just ended up with those 15 points leading Oregon. The Illini held them to just 54 points. Also, just 2 double-digit scorers between Kwame Evans and Biddle. Both shot, double-digit shots, with Biddle at 15, Kwame Evans Jr. at 13. The Illini owned the boards on this one, though they gave up a couple of bad rolls to Oregon. There's a couple times that I felt like Oregon snatched the ball up and Illinois was kind of having one of those stand around and look for the ball moments. And in regards to rebounds, allowing them to actually grab up 9 offensive boards themselves. But the Illini grabbed up 14. We won the rebounding battle. 48-36. So definitely glad to see that. Nearly 50 rebounds in this one, especially against a bad shooting Oregon team. Definitely have numbers in that realm when we're playing good defense. Um, Really, the only thing that we didn't have in this game, especially on a senior night, was a good statistical night from Kylan Boswell. Potentially the worst statistical night we've seen from him. 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist in 22 minutes. Went 1 of 6 from the field, 1 of 3 from three. Not going to bash on Kylan in this one. Things just weren't quite dropping for him, and he wasn't forcing anything. Even though it's senior night, this guy's got over 1,200 career points. I don't feel like he thought he needed to go look for a 25-point or 30-point senior night for himself. I think he knew this team needs to worry about getting back to what they're supposed to be doing to play winning basketball and not worry about himself, not worry about looking great on senior night, which just shows how great of a teammate, how great of a culture guy Kylan is. I mean, everything he's done as a mentor to Keegan, as a mentor to KJ last year, it's just such a great teammate, great program guy. I think he's going to be an NBA player. I think he's, probably going to have a little bit of a journey to do that, but I really think he will ultimately end up being a great bench player for an NBA team that needs a solid defender and a guy that can go help create a bit, could score a bit and play tough. So love seeing that from Highland. Obviously, I would love to see him like hitting more shots, doing more things, but he was really, in my opinion, looking to get Ben from Rickhouse. His looks make him, a little more featured within senior night. Ben had 6 points, 3 boards, 2 steals, and a block. Was flying around a bit on this one, matching up against Biddle, who had the size advantage on him and really played tough. Had 22 minutes in this game as well. Knocked down a couple of threes. One I thought was going in for him. I thought it was about to pop the roof off the place from the corner, but unfortunately did miss that one. And then we saw obviously some great things out of two guys that really, really needed some get back here. Needed to get back into their role, back into their energy. And I'm going to go ahead and start with Big Z in this one. I mean, 8 points, 5 boards, 2 blocks, in 17 minutes in this one. Still missed his 2 threes, so we're still looking cold there. He's like 2 of 18 for his last 18 from three. But what I loved seeing out of him was he went after rebounds that Merck was going after, and they were the only ones going after it, and he was taking the ball. He was not letting Merck grab the rebound. He said, no, this is my ball. And I love seeing that aggression out of him. I love seeing the energy out of him. Let's be honest. Keaton and him have nice little hookup alley-oop, probably, a couple every couple game, 2 to 3 games. And we had a great one tonight. Thought he was going to hit his head on the rim, but really let's talk about that half court heave for the and one that Andre set up for him. Now, in the presser after, Andre said, we do that in practice and doesn't always, seem to work, but it seemed to work in this one as he just went up, put it down on a guy, got and one. Just a phenomenal play, athletic play, great focus. I loved seeing Z's energy back in this one. Love seeing his focus in this one. Again, yeah, he missed those 2 threes, but he hit his free throws. And I noticed something with Z. When he hits his free throws, his threes are going to come. So I'm not worried about him finding that stroke. I think he's just got to give it a little more patience. He shot an early one that I believe Brad pulled him for. But I love seeing what we saw out of him. Great shot block on, I believe it was Evans driving to the rim towards the end of the shot clock and just got up there and said, no, sir, you are not getting this over me. And didn't let him get it up in the air either. He stayed above the ball and did such a great job there. So hats off to Z for getting back in that role, getting back in a get back spot. Obviously, we've got to talk about Andre in this one. Andre, 21 minutes, 21 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal in this one. Yeah, let's just talk about it. Andre did Andre stuff, but he did it in the confines of a team game. He played his role. The guy that I feel most on this team needs to make sure he is playing within his role. And when he does, he has games like this. He went out and had 6 boards at half in the presser afterward, he said to everyone in the locker room, I'm getting 10 boards. He ended up with 12. Love it. He had 2 assists in this one. Now, Andre has not been a big assist guy. 2 assists doesn't seem like a lot, but he also just made some good passes. There's a couple times I felt like he could have probably dished a guy in the corner. I think we see that from him a lot, especially when he's getting downhill and he's successful getting downhill. Not gonna knock him. I mean, he was 7 to 10 from two in this game. Uh, with one of them being him muffing himself against the rim with a dunk attempt. I'm not going to knock him. He played great in this game. He played team ball. He had good energy. He played defense, crashed the boards, and pushed the break. Now, that's the thing. When Andre is crashing the boards, Illinois has a fast break offense. Much like Io or Terrence, obviously he's not those guys. He's a different style player, but he's athletic, quick, can finish around the rim just like those guys. He's not going to sit there and blow by everybody like Terrence did and finish against any aggression you give him. But he's kind of like Io. If you give him a lane, he's going to charge at it. And he's going to get there quickly and have an athletic, strong finish. I think defensively, he, just looked like he wanted to be out there playing defense. He looked like he bought in 100% in this one, and he even talked about it, talking about coming from Cal, being an 18-point night game player for Cal, and having to change his mindset. And I thought he was pretty honest and raw in some of the things he said in that presser. I think there's been a lot of talk about, whether he kind of thrown in the towel a little bit, is just getting his mindset ready for portal. I don't think that he is. Now, was he upset or was he not in a good headspace? Probably so. He even said he had his worst game against Michigan. He's frustrated in himself about that. But he listened to the coaches. He listened to Underwood, who presses to do these things. Play defense, rebound. You become a difference maker. This game showed him that. I hope more than anything. And I hope we get him for every single game we have left in the season playing like this. Whether he's a starter, whether he's off the bench, whether he's even hitting some threes or not. I just want him to crash the boards, play defense, and attack the rim when he has good opportunities. Don't force it. Don't get tunnel vision. Play a team game, but do it when it's there. And we can't leave this recap without diving in. Mihajlo Petrovic. You guys knew I was about to bring up AJ Red, didn't you? But I have to throw this out to Mihajlo. He's been getting some props out there for it. Obviously has a lot of DNPs on the season. Was expecting to be a big integral part of this team. All the chatter that's been out there. People saying, hey, I wouldn't have been surprised if he went home at Christmas and never came back. All the craziness. I think Mihajlo enjoys his teammates, and I think he enjoys AJ Red because he made sure to put a little stank on his pass. He could have just gave him a little bounce pass, gave him a little handoff, something like that. Nah, Mihajlo was like, all right, let me go ahead and bounce this between my legs to him real quick, just to put a little something on it, make it look a little special. And AJ, after nearly airballing, barely clipped the rim and almost got himself pulled from the game by launching a 28-footer and had Brad Underwood angrier than I've seen him, I think, all season, go ahead and drill a three, his first of his career in that Illini uniform. If you don't know AJ's backstory, he really wasn't getting recruited out of high school. While he is number 4 all-time leading scorer in his high school, playing in Chicago, Brad Underwood said it himself in the press conference after. He was a D1 player that just decided to, get on a Big Ten roster. Sounds like he could have played smaller, D1, D2, probably. I believe, if I remember correctly, he had some D2 interest, but he decided to bet on himself and go to Illinois, go and major in finance, which is going to pay off more than anything basketball would have. But AJ showed up as a team manager, was with TSJ at 4:30 in the morning for his workouts, was showing up, being a team player, and he showed Underwood good enough to go ahead and make him a walk-on that season as well, later in the season after the Illini had some injuries. They needed bodies, and he did a great job. Now, a little more backstory on AJ Red. When the Illini went overseas for off-season games in the summer, AJ actually started a game. And he started a game because that summer, every team AJ was on, whatever combination the coaches put together, that team won. So he has shown just having connectivity to help go make a team win. He's been through it all here. He has been through Matthew Meyer's crazy antics and all the stuff with Sky Clark leaving that season, all the drama to Terrence Shannon becoming a first round pick, to being there through all Terrence's drama, to Coleman Hawkins and Coleman Hawkins being Coleman Hawkins. I mean, love him to death, but I'm sure there's probably some times you're like, dang, Coleman, like, can you just knock it off for a moment? But it sounds like AJ has a good humor as well. So those guys probably got along thick as thieves. But something I'm going to point out too is all the love his teammates had for him over the years. I saw Coleman Hawkins, Dane Danger, Marcus Domask post highlight clips of AJ hitting that three, of AJ driving the lane and got a tough finish, which in my opinion should have been an and one. I'll give it to him. But AJ showed up. He's what an everyday guy means. He was there for 4 years with Brad, which, yeah, we haven't had tons of those guys. Coleman, and a lot of people are forgetting Ty Rodgers is in his fourth year as well with the program. So we've had plenty of guys that have left prematurely, not stayed all 4 years, whether that been for pro prospect, whether that been for portal. AJ stuck with this team when he probably could have went and transferred and played at a lower program. But he saw his future with the Illini, both on the court and off. He's lined up for a great opportunity that honestly the basketball team probably helped open the door for with Geese, and going and working for him as a financial analyst when he graduates. He met Geese in a workout with the basketball team. Geese came in to work out, and they actually matched up as workout partners. And that started his relationship and rapport with him. Who knows what that relationship is going to pay off for AJ Red in his future. Hopefully one day, we'll have an AJ Red sports complex or AJ Red fitness gym, whatever the case may be on campus. Hopefully AJ goes and does great, wonderful things. But hats off to him for how he showed up, and hats off to everyone at State Farm Center for showing him the love, and love to see our Illini get back to doing the things right that they were missing out on. The little things, the energy, the effort, getting hands out there, just playing their ball. We didn't shoot great in this one. 10 of 36 from three. I thought Merck got a little trigger happy towards the end. Thought Jake Davis went 1 of 5. Honestly, I don't think he was trigger happy at any point or shooting bad shots. He just had some stuff that wasn't dropping for him. Tommy fall into a shooting slump, 5 of the last 26. So hope to see him just like go out and knock down a couple early in a Big Ten tournament game, get his mind right, or in the upcoming Maryland game. I would love to see that. I think we all would. I would love to see both the Avisich twins get back on their shot as we get into it. It's March. It's go time. It's lock it in time. So hope these Illini go out and prove to the world what we see in them, what this still number one ranked Ken Palm offense can do, even though we did slide a little bit down to 131.8. Our defense did climb up to the 27th in the nation with a 98.6% efficiency. So never hurts to see that climb up, even though we didn't play the hardest match for us in this one. But again, want to thank you all for coming in, checking out the episode. Please go ahead, like, share, subscribe, leave some comments. Would love some conversation here in regards to what you think. Is this game gonna get us back right all the way? Is this gonna look like the early January defense? Is Kylan gonna get going offensively? Is Tommy gonna get going offensively? How is this gonna look going to the Big Ten tournament and the NCAA tournament? We're currently projected as a 2 seed. I think we'll keep that unless we drop a couple eggs in our next 2 games. But thank you again for checking it out. You bleeders, always welcome to the Bleed Orange and Blue podcast. Always welcome to reach out to me at bleedorangeandbluepod@gmail.com. If you want to join in on the pod, if you have suggestions, want to talk about something, please reach out to me there. And again, as always, LL.